The deep silence of space stretched endlessly, cold and empty. Stars blinked softly, unaware of the danger moving among them. Far beyond the moon's orbit, something strange drifted. A group of dark shapes almost invisible against the stars. They moved with purpose, like hunters in the dark. On Earth, the global command station picked up a faint repeating sound. It wasn't natural. It wasn't human. The signal came in short bursts, mechanical, cold, and full of strange patterns. Technicians stared at their screens trying to decode it. The message repeated again and again, growing stronger every hour. General Marcus Hale stood behind them, his face hard as stone. He had seen many battles, but nothing like this. "Is it a threat?" he asked quietly. No one answered. Moments later, the static cleared him and a voice came through. It was deep, calm, and filled with pride. "This galaxy belongs to us. Humanity must surrender, or vanish." The control room fell silent. The words echoed through the speakers, leaving a chill in the air. Outside the windows, the blue earth looked peaceful, almost unaware of the danger approaching. General Hale turned toward the communication officer. "Prepare a response," he said slowly. His eyes were cold, his voice steady. "If they want a war, they will see what humans are made of." As the signal faded into the darkness, the alien ships continued their silent movement toward Earth. No one on the planet slept that night. The unknown had spoken, and now humanity had to answer. In the black sea of space, the first war of the stars was about to begin, and humanity was ready. The next morning, the skies over Earth looked normal, but above the clouds everything had changed. Thousands of satellites were dead. Communication lines broke without warning. Even the moon base had gone silent. The scientists tried to restart contact, but all they heard was static, the same strange sound that came before the alien voice. From the orbit cameras, blurry shapes appeared near Mars. They were not asteroids. They were ships, huge, dark, and moving fast. Each one was the size of a city. Their metal skin glowed with blue energy, bending light around them like smoke. At the global command station, alarms began to ring. Soldiers rushed to their posts, eyes wide and afraid. "They're coming closer," said one officer. General Hale stood still, watching the giant shapes grow larger on the screen. Earth's leaders met within minutes. Some wanted to surrender. Others shouted for peace. But Hale only said one thing: "If we kneel now, we'll never stand again." Orders were given. Every defense system was activated. Warships left their hidden bases under the oceans. Human fleets gathered near the planet Saturn, far from Earth but close enough to defend it. In the middle of the night, people across the world looked up at the stars. Some saw strange lights moving, like shadows across the sky. Children asked their parents what they were. No one could answer. The silence that once filled space was gone. Now it was replaced with whispers of fear, and the cold hum of engines. Something terrible was coming, and Earth, small but brave, stood waiting in the dark. The first attack came without warning. At 03 Gauss hours, the defense satellites near Jupiter went silent. Moments later, bright flashes filled the sky. Human outposts on Europa and Ganymede were gone. The alien fleet had arrived. On Earth, the command screens lit up red. "They've breached the outer defense zone!" shouted the technician. General Hale didn't move. His eyes were locked on the radar. Hundreds of enemy ships moving fast like a swarm of shadows. Human ships launched from Titan Station, brave but outnumbered. The battle began with thunder and fire. The aliens' weapons tore through metal like paper. Human cruisers exploded one after another, filling the black space with burning light. But even in chaos, humans refused to retreat. A single old ship, Horizon Dawn, and appeared on the battlefield. It was an old war relic, forgotten for years, but now its engines glowed brighter than the sun. The enemy turned their weapons toward it, but before they could fire, Horizon Dawn unleashed something new, a pulse of pure white energy. In seconds, the entire alien front line vanished. Silence returned for a brief moment. Then cheers erupted through every human channel. For the first time, they had struck back. General Hale stared at the glowing data feed and whispered, "Now they'll understand who they're fighting." But deep inside the alien flagship, their leader watched the explosion replay. Its voice hissed coldly through the ship's speakers. "Humans. Interesting creatures. Let's see how long they last." The first strike had ended, but this was only the beginning of a much greater war. After the first victory, Earth was quiet for a moment. People celebrated, thinking the danger was over. But General Hale knew better. He had seen wars before. Silence after battle always meant something worse was coming. In the dark space near Saturn, the human fleet drifted among the remains of destroyed ships. Engineers repaired what they could. Pilots sat in their cockpits, tired but alert. Then, without warning, every human screen turned white. A new transmission broke through, strong, cold, and filled with static. The alien voice returned. "You destroyed one fleet. We have thousands more. Humanity will be erased from the stars." The signal echoed through every ship, every station, even the colonies. Fear spread fast. Some soldiers froze. Others whispered prayers. Inside the global command hall, General Hale stood in front of the main screen. Cameras pointed at him from every base and city. Billions of humans watched, waiting for his words. He looked calm, his voice deep and steady. "To those who threaten Earth, you started this war. Now face human power." His message traveled faster than light, spreading across the galaxy. It was strong, clear, and fearless. It became known as the last transmission from Earth. Across the stars, alien commanders listened. Some laughed. Some hesitated. But none could ignore the fire behind those words. Back on Earth, people cheered. The fear faded. Hope returned. Children looked up at the night sky and whispered, "That's our home." The message was simple. Humanity would not bow. And in the cold silence of space, every species heard it. The real war had just begun. The alien fleets came again, larger, stronger, and ready for revenge. Their ships covered the sky above Mars, glowing with red energy like angry suns. They believed humanity would finally break. But this time, the humans were ready. From the shadows of Saturn's rings, the human fleet rose. Hundreds of ships, rebuilt and armed with new weapons born from desperation and genius. Drones shaped like metal birds flew ahead, scanning and striking at light speed. AI-controlled cannons tracked every movement. At the center of it all was the Horizon Dawn. Its engines burned blue, its hull shining like a blade. Inside, General Hale stood before the command deck, eyes fixed on the stars. "No more running," he said softly. "Today they learn what it means to fight humans." The order was given. Every human ship fired at once. The sky lit up like a second sun. The first wave of alien ships shattered under the combined fire. Explosions danced across the void, turning the blackness into flame. The aliens tried to respond, but human tactics were fast, unpredictable, emotional. They fought not with numbers, but with heart. Each pilot knew what they were defending. Each strike carried the memory of fallen friends. As the battle raged, an alien commander watched in disbelief. "They are only humans," it whispered.
"How can they fight like this?"
By the end of the day, half the alien armada was gone. Earth's flag shone proudly on every surviving ship. General Hale looked out at the burning sky and said quietly, "They wanted war. Now they have it." Humanity had spoken, not with words, but with fire. The stars were quiet again. The battle was over, but the silence felt heavy. Smoke and broken metal drifted through space. Remains of ships, human and alien alike. The war that began with a single message had ended in fire. General Hale stood on the bridge of the Horizon Dawn, watching the distant blue glow of Earth. For the first time in years, he allowed himself to breathe. "It's over," whispered his second officer. Hale nodded slowly. "Yes," he said, "but peace never comes free." Across the galaxy, the alien worlds lay silent. Their once great fleets were gone. Few survivors remained to tell the story. And in every corner of space, the same words were whispered: "Never challenge the humans again." Back on Earth, cities began to rebuild. Families reunited. The people who had once feared the dark now looked up at the stars with pride. The words of General Hale's broadcast still echoed in every heart. "You chose this war. Now face human power." Children repeated it in classrooms. Soldiers engraved it on their ships. It became a promise and a warning. Years later, a small probe floated beyond the edge of known space. Its transmitter flickered once, sending one last message into the void. "To whoever finds this, remember, humanity stands together. We are small, but never weak." The signal traveled endlessly, passing stars and dust, a quiet echo of courage. And somewhere, In the cold emptiness between galaxies, another civilization listened. They heard the story of Earth, and they stayed silent. Because the stars now carried a memory that would never fade. Humanity does not start wars, but they always finish them.